Kal Ho Na Ho. And they used to call her Nam Jo in the office. So she was Namrata Joshi. And I've told the story, and I think she's going to get very annoyed that I'm telling it again. But that's how she just called it the Kejo or something. And it just got stuck right after that.
I think it goes with the whole veneer of being the cool Kejo, right? It goes with your personality in a certain way.
Yeah, well, it's stuck. I don't know whether it's deserving or not, but yeah, it's just the way it is.
The reason I'm saying that, Karan, is also the fact that, you have this whole cool veneer, but behind that is a pretty astute businessman, and most people, of course, they realize it given the sheer quantum or the output that your production company comes out with month after month and for years after years. But when you actually, and this is a company that your father founded, when you actually took over, it wasn't such a big company, right?
Well, my father was I'm very proud to say was a very loved man in the film fraternity, and knew everybody and has been working in the movies since the 1950s. He used to do production, and he was very loved and revered by the fraternity. Unfortunately, besides his very first film as producer, Dostana, there were a series of films that hadn't worked commercially. So while he was known and loved and had made very massive cinematic experiences, they hadn't been successful at the box office. So it was after 1980 when Dostana released. It was in 1998 when I directed Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, when he gave his next success. So he actually had 18 years of failures actually after Dostana. So it wasn't a very easy time. People really don't think about that today when they think of Dharma Productions, but it was actually, we're rather nascent because I started actively producing multiple films only post 2008, 2009 with Dostana and Wake Up Sid and films like which we started. So it's about like really 14 years old in the business where we're actively producing content.
It would be fair to say that even in these 14, 15 years that you've been around as a producer, Dharma Productions gets almost the same billing, at least in the mindscape, in popular culture, as, say, Yash Raj. And Yash Raj has been around for obviously much, much longer, right? My question to you is, because we're talking about names, and I know you don't like being called Kejo because it sounds like Kaju, but Dharma is named after, most people won't know this, is named after an individual called Dharma Hinduja.
He was Dharam actually.
Okay.
Mr. S.P. Hinduja's son, Dharam. My father was financed by the prolific Hinduja family when he decided to embark on being a producer. Dharma Productions was formulated at that time when he was funded by the Hinduja family, who were also into film financing at that moment of time. S.P. Hinduja was the oldest member of the Hinduja family, and his son was Dharam Hinduja. I say was because he's not alive anymore. And that's the origin of the name. It comes from him actually. And then I think they tweaked it and called it Dharma. His name was Dharam.
Right.